Imagine being in a courtroom, surrounded by lawyers, judges, and officers, when suddenly a 5-year-old boy stands up, points at a police officer, and says something so shocking it leaves everyone in the room speechless. What if I told you this innocent child had just dropped a bombshell that changed the course of an entire trial? Stay tuned, because what this boy said will not only surprise you, but it could also change everything you think you know about justice. Don't miss out on this incredible story. Watch till the end. The room fell into a stunned silence, as if time itself had stopped. The little boy's gesture was deliberate, his tiny finger now pointing at the officer with such certainty it was as if he had just revealed the most crucial piece of the puzzle. The police officer, a tall man with a hardened expression, stood motionless, his uniform stiff and formal, but his face betrayed a flicker of unease. He had been standing there, an ordinary figure in an ordinary court proceeding, yet now, under the weight of the child's accusation, his presence seemed out of place. The judge, an elderly man with glasses perched on his nose, leaned forward, his brow furrowed in disbelief. The courtroom was full of tension. The defense attorney whispered urgently to his colleague, but no one dared speak. Everyone's eyes were fixed on the boy, who didn't flinch. His gaze remained focused, his posture unwavering despite his young age. He was the picture of innocence, yet in that one small movement, he held the power to change everything. What did the boy see? How could he, so young, have known to point at the officer with such unwavering certainty? His action was a silent accusation, a mystery the room was now desperate to unravel. The silence in the courtroom grew heavier with each passing second, everyone's breath collectively held. The boy, no more than 5 years old, stood in stark contrast to the weighty surroundings. His innocent face, framed by messy curls, was a quiet storm of emotions. His small hands were now clasped in front of him, yet his finger, still pointing at the officer, remained steady, as though he had just made a declaration no one was prepared for. There was no sign of hesitation or uncertainty in his actions. The judge, leaning forward in his seat, appeared both puzzled and fascinated. His eyes never left the child as he waited for an explanation. He had seen many things in his long career, but nothing like this. How could such a young child be so resolute? The usually imposing figure of the officer seemed to shrink in the boy's presence. The officer, whose uniform symbolized authority and law, seemed less powerful now, under the intense scrutiny of the child's gaze. The entire room seemed to be holding its collective breath, waiting for the next word from the boy, wondering what truth lay behind that innocent, unwavering gesture. The words the little boy spoke echoed through the courtroom, piercing the heavy silence with the force of a truth no one was prepared for. The child's voice, though small, carried the weight of years of hurt, his accusation sharp and direct. "He's the one who hurt my mommy." The simplicity of the statement hit harder than any legal argument could. Everyone in the room, jurors, attorneys, and even the judge, was caught off guard by the depth of the child's words. The officer, his composure cracking, visibly recoiled. His skin turned pale as he struggled to maintain control, his eyes flickering between the boy and the judge. For the first time, the officer appeared vulnerable, unsure. The courtroom was in chaos, with murmurs spreading like wildfire, but the judge remained calm, his gaze unwavering as he processed the gravity of the moment. Could a child truly understand such a painful truth? The boy's simple words had shaken the very foundation of the case. As the words echoed in the courtroom, the gravity of the situation became undeniable. The judge, unable to let this slip by without further consideration, immediately called for a recess. The courtroom erupted into quiet chaos. Lawyers murmured among themselves. Jurors exchanged confused glances, and reporters outside were scrambling for updates. How could a child, barely 5 years old, make such an accusation? The officer, standing motionless in the center of it all, seemed unable to process the weight of the boy's words. His face had lost its usual stoic expression, replaced with a nervous twitch. His eyes darted, his hands clenched at his sides. Could he really be guilty? The questions swirled, but the answers were elusive. As the truth slowly unraveled, it became clear. The boy had witnessed something harrowing. The officer had been part of a routine traffic stop that escalated into something far worse. In a moment of excessive force, the officer had injured the boy's mother, but the child, still innocent, had seen it all. His point wasn't an act of accusation, it was an act of raw honesty. In his small way, he understood that the truth always finds its way to the surface. The courtroom, once filled with an air of quiet formality, now buzzed with chaotic energy after the boy's shocking statement. Lawyers scrambled to regain their footing, and the onlookers were left in stunned silence. The judge, sensing the gravity of the situation, immediately ordered an investigation into the officer's conduct. What had initially seemed like a routine trial was now heading in a completely different direction. The boy's testimony had become the pivotal moment that would shift the entire course of the case. It was as if the universe had placed him there, in that moment, to reveal a truth no one else had seen. As the legal team scrambled to gather evidence and build their arguments, a deeper realization dawned. Sometimes, the most profound truths come from the most unexpected sources. For the little boy, this was more than a courtroom. This was his chance to stand up for his mother, to tell the truth, even if he didn't fully understand its weight. His courage, though small in form, was monumental in its impact. His bravery changed everything. In the end, the courtroom was transformed into something symbolic. It became a place where innocence and truth stood tall, proving that no voice is too small to bring about change. Welcome to the Black Visionaries family. Wow, what a powerful story, right? This little boy's bravery truly left us all speechless, and it's a reminder that truth always finds a way to come out, no matter how small the voice. If you are shocked by what happened, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more unbelievable, real-life moments that will leave you on the edge of your seat. Share this with your friends, because everyone deserves to know how a child's voice can change the world. Comment below with your thoughts on this jaw-dropping case, and let's talk about how it will affect the future of justice. Your support means the world. Hit that bell icon so you never miss a story like this. See you in the next one.